Hey, it's dostonjobs from Japan, and in this video I want to share my own experience learning Japanese and how I transferred from passive learning to active learning. Actually, I've been living in Japan for 3.5 years and I'm still a student in university, and also I do some work like freelance work, and that's why I had a lot of experience studying and also using Japanese every day. And throughout my experience, I had a lot of mistakes and a lot of trouble by learning Japanese, because if you don't use a language, it's really hard to actually learn it, right? And in this video I also want to explain about two things, right? Discipline and motivation, and also how to transfer from passive learning to active learning. So the first thing is what's the difference between motivation and discipline? So of course I had a motivation to study and live in Japan, but sometimes you don't really feel motivated. Motivation comes and disappears, but if you have a discipline, you will do it every day, and little by little you will learn a lot. And in this video I want to share a few tips and few ways to learn a language. And the first thing is reading, right? And how we can turn from reading passively to reading actively, and what type of content we can consume. Yeah, of course you can read some news and some articles, but in Japanese there are 3 hiragana, katakana, and kanji. So yeah, kanji characters. So it's really hard to read actually. If you just open news right now or article, probably you won't understand anything, because yeah, of course you can learn hiragana or katakana in like 1 or 2 weeks, but kanji, you need to know the meaning of this thing and how to actually read, and yeah, it's pretty tough. But how you can actually do it? There are actually tons of apps and services for free. Even like NHK News and also Satori app. I will leave all apps and services down below, so please check them, because I think those apps are pretty great, because you can just open some simple articles and just click and see the meaning, and then how to read this word, and you can just save those words to your dictionary, so you can make your own dictionary. So if you see some words or some phrases that are used frequently, you should just write it down, because probably you will see it next time, and yeah, you don't have to translate it next time because you already know the meaning of this word when you see it. So that's the thing about reading actively. So you see something, you know the meaning of this word, probably write it down, and then you probably will be much more fluent next time, so when you see this word. All right, what's the next thing? Next thing is actually watching drama or YouTube in Japanese. Of course, as I said before, watching anime can be fun, interesting, but not really rewarding in terms of learning language, because as I said, language that are used in anime, I don't know, like I've never heard anyone using this type of language like in anime, right? So you will sound probably funny if you use this type of words, and probably people will find out that you're not even fluent at all, so if you use this type of language. But we can use other type of content for studying language. I see a lot of people watch Terrace House on Netflix, with subtitles, because those type of content, it's like used, it's like everyday life, so you probably use those words and phrases much more than some specific words or specific phrases that like really it's kind of fantasy or something like that. So yeah, I suggest finding those type of shows, TV shows. Sometimes they're crazy, but yeah, if you find something interesting and something that you can use, then I think it's pretty rewarding. And also you can use this technique that called shadowing. So when you watch something, you just repeat after that person. So you start to imitate, you start to copy their pronunciation and probably their accent. So that type of thing is will be much more, yeah, you will get much more advantage than just by watching and then not doing anything. Yeah, it's just a difference between, as I said, passively and actively learning. Yeah, next thing is, of course, music. Yeah, we can listen to music, and we also can do the same thing. Just find a transcript, not a transcript, lyrics, and you can listen to music and then repeat. And after that, if you just listen this type of music, you will just do it passively, and you will remember it much faster. And also, if you write it down, you will probably find some interesting words or phrases that you might actually use sometimes. But yeah, I suggest maybe finding soundtracks to some movies, or yeah, as well as you know, anime can be also pretty interesting. Those songs are really like easy to remember, and because it's like intro of anime, and if you always hear this music, you will remember it much faster. And the next thing is playing games in Japanese. Yeah, right now, like, you know, in pandemic, we all need to stay at home. Yeah, even though sometimes it's good to go out to I don't know, sea, for example, or if you have this nature nearby, it's good sometimes to yeah, go out by yourself. But please take care of yourself and this time. But yeah, playing games can be also quite rewarding, because when you play games, you actually actively do something. You actually participate, because you need to you know, make some decisions, and yeah, you need to make your character, and also you might remember some actually you know, frequently used words and terms and phrases. Like right now, Animal Crossing game is pretty famous, it's pretty popular, and if you just turn it to Japanese, probably it will be fun to, yeah, of course you cannot hear what they say, but you will be much faster by reading and by comprehending content. And also there are so many things that you can see, like, you know, some simple words like wood, chair, and those things, you can learn it in Japanese. Yeah, right? So just find a game that you like, and also there are some games like VR chat. Yeah, a lot of people right now, they're making videos in VR chat, like talking to people, and also you can find Japanese people there. Of course, there are people like you know, some people can be creepy, but you should find something that will empower you, that will make you better learner. So that's why use all those things and choose what you enjoy the most and what you like the most. So if it's something interesting, you don't even feel like you're studying or you're working. So then just doing it consistently, just doing it 20 minutes a day, in a month it will be 10 hours. So just imagine learning something actively 10 hours, and then multiply it, you know, multiply it by 2, and now you have 20 hours. So that's why it will be just rewarding how much you learn, and when you actually start using your language, you will have much more power and much more you know, enjoyment when you actually use the language. And last but not least, of course, as I said, practice it with people. And things like right now we have video calls, and if you find a group of people by interest, I think it's also might be really interesting, because you can find or you can learn not just by you know, grammar or some vocabulary and words, but also you will find out much more about interests, and you can find some like culture, like you can learn something about a cultural background and stuff like that. So that's why don't use people just to practice your language, but also give them some value as well. So that's why if you make those kind of video calls like right now, yeah, we cannot you know, travel or do something with that, but we can find some ways to overcome these obstacles. So that's why learn not just language but also culture. And yeah, you will also find out about those you know, rules that people don't really say, or those things that are not written in textbooks. So it's all experience, it's all takes time. And yeah, as I said, choose the type of content that you like and just make it yeah, from passive to active. And I hope you enjoyed, because those type of videos probably give you some experience that anything is possible. And finally, like when you practice just little by little every day consistently, you can actually be much more fluent and much more active, and also, you know, gain a lot of fun and throughout this time while learning a language, which can be quite hard in the beginning, right? So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, where I share about finance, learning new skills, and also jobs in Japan. Yeah, write in the comments what other tips or what other things that you do while learning a language, no matter it's Japanese, English, or whatever. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.